Welcome back. President Trump focusing on the economy. Yesterday, I spoke with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and emphasized the strength of the dollar. Watch.
I think that in the short term, there are certain issues of a strong dollar that are beneficial. There's certain issues that are not beneficial, and we acknowledge that. I think as it relates to the long term, again, the dollar has been the major reserve currency. It's been where people want to invest. And I think if you look at the strength in the dollar, it's like the strength in the stock market. That's people voting with confidence in the Trump administration plan and the economy for the U.S.
Joining me right now is Rogers Holdings Chairman Jim Rogers. Jim, good to see you. Thanks for joining us this morning on Skype. So the Treasury Secretary says confidence in Trump has bolstered these markets in the dollar, but the dollar's up better than 20% since Election Day. When does the dollar become too strong that it actually hurts the economy?
Well, Maria, I'm long a lot of dollars, as we've discussed before. I'm long the dollars because I expect turmoil in world financial markets, and people are looking for a safe haven. It's going to get overpriced. It might even turn into a bubble before this is over.
So what do you think about Trump's policies and the impact on the economy in the U.S., Jim?
Well, so far there hasn't been much of a policy, other there's been some talk. He said he was going to put up big tariffs, which he has not done. Nobody wants a trade war. I mean, so far, he said some good things. He says he's going to cut taxes. He says he's cutting regulations. He says he's going to build infrastructure. All of that's great, Maria. If he does it without a trade war, we could have a good time for quite some time.
So we've got a great panel here this morning, Jim. What about that? Can he do it and not impact trade relationships and do these bilateral trades? What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, you see two of his deputies down in Mexico yesterday taking a softer line than the president has taken with Mexican officials. So it seems like they're kind of playing a good cop, bad cop game where the president himself is the bad cop talking tough, and then you have the Secretary of State saying, hey, let's talk about this, let's negotiate, let's come to some kind of amicable agreement.
Sounds like you think you could do it.
But that's the appropriate role, right? That is a diplomat being diplomatic,
yeah.
Where you've got the chief sort of driving the bus, and he's bombastic, and everyone knows that, and saying, here's my agenda, and as you say, a bad cop, and then it's up to Tillerson and others to go down and say, okay, we're following his points overall. We're all moving in the same direction, but let's talk, right? That's I think, an appropriate dynamic.
But sometimes it's the other way around. Usually it's the president who's the diplomat, actually, and then you send out your troops to do the tough talk. But obviously, President Trump likes to be in that power of, in the position of power, in the position of strength.
Yeah.
I don't foresee tariffs in the future in terms of, I really don't.
Well, there's something, though, that he's going to do in terms of a border tax. I mean, it could be some, I mean, you know, other countries charge a tax. 100 other countries, Jim Rogers, charge some kind of a tax on imports. So many people say that this is just catch-up on the U.S.'s part.
Well, we have plenty of tariffs, too, Maria, maybe not as obvious as some of the other countries you're talking to. But back to the point, if there's going to be a trade war, trade wars have never been good for anything. If he does the other parts of his agenda, we can really have a good time. He says there's $3 trillion U.S. abroad held by American companies. If he can get those $3 trillion to come back to help finance, build infrastructure, I mean, in theory, Maria, this could be really good. But trade wars have never been good for anybody.
So, Jim, I want to come back to something else you said. You said you're positioning yourself for a global financial meltdown. Tell us more about that. That might be the headline here. Where's this meltdown coming from?
Well, if there's going to be a trade, Mr. Trump promised many times that he would put 45% tariffs on China the first day and tariffs on Mexico the first day. Now, he hasn't done it, as we all know, which is good news.
He also said he was going to call China a currency manipulator the first day. And he didn't do that.
I'm sorry, what?
He also said he was going to call China a currency manipulator on the first day, and they didn't do that.
No, I know. He hasn't done some of those things he said, and that's good news.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody has tempered him and explained how the world works. If we don't have trade problems and we do the good things he wants to do, it could be fabulous. The reason I own the dollar, so many dollars, and have for some time, is because I do expect some kind of financial turmoil in the next couple of years.
Jim,
Maybe it won't happen. It
real
just
quick.
be good news. If that's
What
the
else
case,
are you exposed to? How else are you allocating capital? Real quick, Jim.
Russia, mainly Russia, agriculture, the U.S. dollar, in a nutshell.
Very, very similar positions that you've had for a long time. Jim Rogers, it's great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Maria.
We'll see you soon. Jim Rogers joining us there on Skype. Coming